How
Okay.
does it work with your business? Okay, what I mean is,
Way to make a point, Adam. Way to make a point.
how does your show and maybe even your second show correlate with how you support people standing out in a crowded market and making more money?
Well, my first show, Amplify Your Success, which is hosted by me and completely curated by me. All of my guests are handpicked. Even if they pitch me, I go through them all and I make sure they're a great fit. So how it fits into my business is twofold. I started my podcast with the vision that I wanted to have a podcast that would help amplify my own authority in the marketplace. And I wanted a tool that would educate my ideal client how I solve a problem for them, what the outcomes they could expect with me, that would bring, no, you don't have the second one.
Oh, okay. So all of that is part of the first one. Binge-worthy.
That's the strategy,
and how to solve a problem with an edge. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
so
keep going.
Multiple layers.
Okay.
But here's what happened after I started the podcast and I discovered the power of it is I wanted to grow my podcast. I wanted to attract more listeners. And one of the strategies to do that is to be a guest on other people's podcasts, other people's shows, and be introduced as a host. And what surprised me, but then became so valuable to me in the work I do with my clients, is that when I was a guest on someone else's show, they would come binge my podcast and raise their hand and go, "Hello, can you coach me?" And so it became a lead nurturing strategy that would help me kind of like, okay, they're not a good lead or they are a good potential client just simply by binging my podcast.
So if I sum this up, it's sounding like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Melanie, if I'm hearing you right, you've got two goals with your podcast. One of them is to connect with your guest by them coming on your show, you coming on their show, you getting to know them getting to know you and potentially working together. And another way that how your business works with your podcast or how your podcast works with your business is that for the listener, you're helping them to be able to get value. And you're doing that in a few ways, but it's solving a problem, showing them, I call it drawing a line in the sand so that they're on the other people that do serve a similar person is on that line. And you're on this side of the line and you're showing basically what you do that's a little bit different and just making sure that it's binge worthy. So the twofold is for the listener, A, and for the guest, B. Is that right?
Actually, not the guest. That was a third benefit that emerged later.
Okay.
The guest, my whole intention with my guest is to have valuable insights that go to my audience. But what I discovered was this was a great way to open up collaborations that could go beyond the podcast.
Okay. Perfect.
So that's where the guest comes in terms of the opportunity. And it's like you have reciprocity. If you have a show, you have a way to give value, especially a good show. And that's really an asset that you can leverage in a lot of ways with other partnering situations.